Hello footies, welcome back to FUT IN Review episode 962, and I'm not alone on today's show. Unfortunately, we haven't got John due to circumstances out of our control. However, I do have the other John K. So it's a pleasure to actually speak to you, John, and be on a podcast with you, and I believe you're just returning to FUT as well. So how have you been, John?
I'm very good, thanks, James. Thanks for having me on. Good to be back on the airwaves, if the listeners can understand our Scottish accents.
Yeah, we need to speak a wee bit slower. Sometimes when I'm on with Chris, John, I try and be as polite as possible, because then we'll just talk to the Scottish slang. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully the listeners can listen to us if we're going to talk slow. Hopefully, John. But I'm sure
I have to remind myself, talk slow.
Yeah, that's what I need to do as well. So in today's episode, really just go over the content. We're recording this live on Friday night, just an hour or so after, about 2 hours after content, about an hour or so after content. And also as well, like I just touched on, we've got John back. So I just want to dive straight into it, John. How's your week been in FUT, and why did you return? And actually, if you could tell the listeners, why did you stop, first of all?
I stopped because I got absolutely disheartened and disengaged that I thought EA were going to deliver a really good game. If you think the last couple of games, there's been lots of challenges, 4-2-3-1 last year, through balls, aggressive tackling, things like that. For the listeners that don't know me, I'm 54. I'm quite an old guy. I get frustrated very easily now. It's my stage of life. And I just was like, nope, had enough. Threatened for years. I'm giving it up. So I thought, nope, not doing it. And then obviously the community here is brilliant. We all know that. You should join this Discord, guys, via Patreon. But I was like, reading the reviews, getting feedback on the beta, and I'm thinking, itchy fingers, itchy fingers. So the day before launch or day before early release, I jumped on and bought it. So I don't have the icon, but got on, played it, and well, the graphics are really smooth and the passing's crisp. There are still, everybody knows it, the challenges are defending. I think it's a skill gap. I think it's a skill gap that should be there. Unfortunately, it really punishes me badly. So for me so far, it's been fine. The account, my main account, I only got to Div 3 on last year, so I started in Div 8. First couple of games, hit and miss, lost a couple of really bad ones. Went on a run, got promoted to Div 7. Then I got spanked 9-1, 8-3, 9-2, 9-1, got re-relegated, and was like, oh my God, this is torture, absolute torture. But persevered, got promoted back into Div 7, got a couple of wins under my belt, changed my formation, using John's formation that will be on public release shortly, but it's a Discord exclusive at the moment. And that seems to have helped stabilise my defence a little bit. And we'll see where it goes from there. But while it looks great and plays well, there are some for me, still some overpowered faults, or overpowered situations, such as through balls are still like, they just destroy you. And if you're a good left stick dribbler, James, which I'm not, and I'm not sure that you are with the way you play, if you're really good at left stick dribbling, you can destroy a team.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely dabbling in the left stick dribbling, John, and thank God it's improved over the last few titles. But what you're saying there, John, I'm sure a lot of our audience can relate. It is frustrating at times. The passing, it's really, really good, but the other side of the coin is defending the passes, defending like the through balls, like you said. So it will just take time. We spoke a lot in last week's episode. It's early days, so I'm sure that will be a theme for the many weeks and months ahead.
On that, I got a WhatsApp from my nephew today, and his game was 13-11.
13-11, is that right? Aye.
He won 13-11, so it shows that there's lots of bad defending out there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, goals galore every game. I actually played that game earlier, and I think it was like 9-8 to my opponent. So yeah, Definitely. I feel your pain.
So
You said you were talking about getting relegated and then getting promoted again. Tell the listeners, were you coming back now, John? What's the main mode that you've been playing? I can assume because you've been relegated and promoted that it's rivals, or you playing other modes as well.
no, just rivals for me. I'm trying to not overcommit myself, so I tend to get. Don't use the word addiction, but I'll get into something and then it's my be all and end all. So I'm trying not to commit all my time to FC this year. So I'm trying to be a bit more balanced. So there is a lot to do, and I'm thinking, right, I can't do it all. So I've played some Rush because there were some objectives and some packs in there, but I didn't do the weekly objective and the early release, so I didn't get the 60,000 Rush points, but I got 3 of the 5 and got some packs. Done quite a bit of squad battles because that's just a nice, easy way to step back from the 9-1s and 9-2s defeats and rivals. So I've done a bit of squad battles. Again, gets you those packs at the weekend. So I've done a bit of that. And then, yeah, it's been rivals. I've done one online draft, won 2 games, went out. That was my token up. I thought, that's me done that bit, thanks. And then I've done a dabbled in the online cup thing, the pre-qualifier for the cup. But I only played 1 game. I won it, and I thought, nah, I'm just going to spend my time in rivals. So that's what I've been doing. What about you, James? What have you been up to?
This week, been a lot of rivals, John. Just grinding. I'm still in Division 7, like where I started the pre-access, so I'm still in there. Doing a bit of rush with my friends, doing the objectives, but mostly just rivals. I did do that tournament that you mentioned, but I kind of get disillusioned with it because I won 4 games, so I think I won that or whatever. But then it glitched on me, and it didn't allow me to play anymore. But then it showed that I was in the quarter final, but it showed that I won the quarter final. But then it didn't show me that I could, move forward and go to the next game. So there seems to be a lot of visual glitches and other glitches with bounties and things like that. So I think this is another one of them, unfortunately. So I didn't really bother with that. We'll talk about though later on about another event that's similar to that tournament that I will certainly dabble in without a shadow of
Okay.
a doubt. And before we go on to the content, with you saying yourself that you're returning back, can I ask, what you say? There's a lot to do. Are you quite happy with the progress that it's made in terms of content? Well, there is a lot to do. And also, you mentioned that you played draft. Rewards have substantially changed in that. Were you happy with your rewards that you got for your 2 wins?
I was actually, because I knew the rewards aren't great versus previous games. So the fact that it was a free token from EA Play type, I've got Xbox Live, so I get my Ultimate, so I get my rewards. So I had a free token. I thought, well, regardless if I win 1 game or no games, I'll get a pack or 2. And at this stage of the game, packs are king because we're all basically hoping for a great pool.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of decent ones, Virgil van
Oh,
Dijk, etc. But
do tell us,
yeah,
John. Virgil van
uh,
Dijk slipping
yeah,
that in
Virgil van
there.
Dijk, yeah, Marquinhos,
Right,
but
okay.
so I've done okay in that, but my team's still a mismatch of. But so in the scheme of knowing that the rewards are watered down versus previous, I'm not overly upset. I've packed like an 87 McCabe, which doesn't fit my team at the moment. So I've got some players around that level, but I am still like using an 82 Joe Linton, and sorry, yeah, an 82 Joe Linton. I'm using like an 83 goalkeeper. I know it's only week 1 or slash launch day, whatever way you want to describe it, but it does feel like it's very below what we're used to, and that's going to take some time to get adjusted, if that makes sense, James.
Yeah, in terms of what the power curve and that we're using golds a lot more now, well, hopefully. So yeah, I understand completely, John. So yeah, you're enjoying it then. You're
Yeah, I am. I am. I
hell
even
or
said,
high water.
well, yes, but the key thing this year is even when I was getting beat 9-1 and 9-2, my wife didn't hear any shouting or swearing.
Right, okay, good. That's good then, John. That's always a
So
plus.
it's always a
Now
plus.
you said you're on Xbox, so if I would move on to in terms of performances. I believe PC players had a lot of issues. Are you aware of that, John? Did you have any issues of launch for your Xbox at all?
No, not at all. Finding the trial was the hardest bit, but I did find it. But yeah, I've had no visual glitches. I've had no sort of disconnects. I've had nothing at all. Both my Xboxes, I've got an X downstairs, a Series X, and a wee S in the office here, and both of them work totally fine. No issues at all. But I know like Nate with his PC has lots of problems at the minute.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Hopefully get
Yeah.
that fixed. But I do like that they're addressing it and they're communicating a lot better, John. So
Yeah,
that's something.
that's
That's
really good to
something.
see. The communication from day one has been way better than we've seen in the last 4 or 5, 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, John. So if we move on to content now, tonight's is Cornerstones. That is going to be the first promo, and you touched on, John, that's the worldwide release today, sorry, for FC26 worldwide. So early access is gone. So with the Cornerstone players, have you seen any ones that take your eye, John? That you okay? I'll pack that in a rare mixed players pack.
Oh yeah, I'd love to, but I think when you look at the price, what is it? Almost 6 million for the squad it's coming in at, um,
Yeah, at the start. Yeah, that's
which is
scary.
it's crazy money. So there are like some really good cars like Bruno Fernandes. I can't pronounce his surname properly, but Bruno Fernandes, as most people call him, which is incorrect. He's like 800k. He's had like a fantastic boost, eight on the pace, stuff like that. So that's really nice. So he becomes like from being usable to very usable. So I think that would be a lovely card. Cole Palmer as well, obviously 920,000. You would just, let's be honest, at this stage of the game, you just want a great pool. You all want an Mbappe, you all want a special Cole Palmer. You're looking for, Valverde at 2 million. Not that I'm greedy, James, but you would take any one of those great cards, wouldn't you? Because they'll make such a difference to your team. But
Oh
realistically, if I'm
yeah.
going to get one, I'm going to get Carroll down there at 10,500, and I'll take him and I'll keep him for SBC fodder. But yeah, I think there are some really good cards. But I'm going to ask you, James, from my point of view, when you look at this, it's historically it's always been the same. What's your thoughts on the criteria? So if you look at something like Bruno, he is a +1. His base card is 87, and he's got a special card at 88. So that's a +1. But Guzan, the goalkeeper, has gone from a 68 to an 84. So that's plus 18.
Uh huh.
Should there not be, just for me, where do they pick it from? What's the criteria? How does somebody get a +18? Somebody gets a +1. How does somebody get a +5? How does somebody get a +8? Do you know what I mean? It's always been
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, exactly. It's the £1 million question, isn't it? Definitely. But I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. In terms of selection, John, and we do see a lot of the same old cards every single year, I suppose. But I'm not in terms of selection right at the start. I'm okay with it. We'll deal with it at the start. Not a lot of significant upgrades like you mentioned, just +1. But also like riders, the Man City midfield. If I've slaughtered the pronunciation, I do apologise. Like he's nearly over 800k. But if you were to ask me, John, what player I would like, Nico Williams with a 5-star weak foot, that'd be lovely. Just under a million. Can play left mid, right mid, left wing, 4 5 star, so that'd be good. But I'm like you, I'll probably pack O'Sullivan 5 or 6 times, and that'll be it. And then I'll just look forward to my
Yeah,
rivals. And then it's the same old story, isn't it? It's the hope that kills you, isn't it?
absolutely. Especially in the way the rewards are at the moment. But yeah, I mean, there are lots of great cards in there, and I'd quite happily, because we're outside of like pros and content creators, right? Or right, they usually put on lots of packs, lots of coins. Most of us either put no coins on or a little bit of coin. So there's very few people, general players, have God squads yet. So Yeah, most of these players, certainly in the top echelons, definitely getting your squad. So I think, yeah, good promotion. But again, watch what I'm saying. They talk about protecting the power curve. With these new cards, do you think that is protecting the power curve, or is that pushing the power curve already very quickly?
It just really depends of playstyle pluses, in my opinion, John. Like what playstyle pluses they gave them. A +1 to a gold card, that's okay. It's just in terms of like playstyles, because as you know, sometimes a gold card will have a certain playstyle,
Yeah.
and then the promo card will have something completely different, better or worse. So just in terms of playstyles, it's still early days. Like we use that phrase a lot to judge, in my opinion. I'm okay with it at the moment. Really, what I'm not okay is, and you just touched on it, is rewards. You know, I would like better rewards now going into the next few weeks. Okay, for the first week or so, but you know, I seen Boras Division 4, he got like 9k. That's crazy. And then myself Division 7, I think I got 5k, and then a couple of packs. So it'd be good if the rewards were better. And then of course the store packs as well. That doesn't help, does it, John?
No, I agree, and I think there's a balance to be had because while rewards are really poor, as in 9k for Boras or 5k for you or 3k for me, um, that's not going to help you improve your team, right? So what does that potentially drive you to? The store. And my concern is, and it's early days, which we've said about 20 times, and we'll continue to say, I don't want the game to be a absolute pay to win. If you want to improve your team, the way to get coins is from the store. And that's the bit we've got to watch. But it's early days. I'm sure they'll be reviewing and tweaking, and maybe some of the rewards even that you get, like squad battles, like I did last week. I didn't realise all the packs were untradeable.
Oh, were they for squad battles?
Yeah, it could
Right.
just be the rank that I got. I think I just got gold 2, but I got very few coins, 5,000 coins, something like that. But I got a couple of packs, not many. I think one was like a 7 times 75 or something like that. But basically, all the players were untradeable. And I think that's where the lack of coins come for you to go buy a player on the market.
Hmm.
And that's the bit I'm worried about. So if they want to make sure that you don't get like 100,000 coins or 200,000 coins like in the old days, but you're only going to get 10 and 5 and 3, at least have your packs tradable, which you can then sell that coins, sell those golds or specials for a little bit of coin balance.
Yeah, definitely. Their strategy over the last 2 years is just completely different scales, isn't it? Last year they had a big focus on how good the rewards were, John. Oh, these rewards are absolutely brilliant, and now they're putting a big focus on the other spectrum that is now downgraded. This is what you wanted, type thing, power curve. So it's just again finding that balance, isn't it? Really, like you've just touched on, really.
Yeah, and I think there is, because let's be honest, that in the past we've all running with really good squads, October, November. Before you even get to team of the season, most people have good squads. That team of the season will carry you, or team of the year will carry you for a little bit, and so on. But yeah, the power curve does previously was really fast, and I actually don't have an objection to being slower, just not too slow, and that's the balance for them to work on.
Yeah, certainly. And also in terms of bugs, they need to get the balance right for that. We're on the content side of things now. There is new SBCs players that we'll talk about and objective cards, but I believe, John, you want to fill us in on what actually happened tonight regarding the new Arsenal man, the player SBC,
Yes,
Cornerstone.
yeah, I can't quite pronounce his name, so Zubimendi.
Yep.
Again, apologies for the pronunciation. So while the SBC, I think it's 5 squads, worth around 90,000 coins, within that it actually talks around that he can be upgraded via Road to the Knockouts. So my understanding was these cornerstones were not live cards. So I think there's a error bug in that. And then the second thing within the story bit of what you have to do for those upgrades, it talks about the Europa League. But of course, Arsenal were in the Champions League. So there are two issues with the launch of that card. So is that
And as
again?
of
You go. Sorry.
recording, before we came on, we checked, and that was still the case, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, and again, I think it's that small attention to detail that we don't want to get, because everybody does beat EA with a big stick when they make mistakes, but there should be a quality control team that makes sure these mistakes don't happen on a regular basis, and we have one very early in the game. So
Yeah, and just clarify to us as well, is it a live card, is it not a live card type thing?
yes,
And
exactly.
away from the all the controversy, are you looking to do that card? Will that card fit your team, John?
You possibly would, because I pulled Patry, so very nice card, but I'm struggling to fit her in. I think I've got Olga at left back now that I packed, so that helps get a little bit of chemistry. So yeah, Spanish would certainly help with my chemistry. So I'll probably have a look at it. But 100k, I don't have 100k, and I've not got that. If I put my good fodder in, that's like my McCabe's and my 87s. I'm not quite convinced that's the best use of all my high rated cards. So I'm a bit like, do I hold my cards or do I throw them all in? Now, if the card gets upgraded, I might throw them all in. If the card is not getting upgraded, I'll maybe wait another couple of days before I decide.
Yeah,
What about
certainly.
you, James? Does that appeal to you?
I like my CDM. If I was going to play him CDM, I like my CDMs like a big bruiser, John, like a Declan Rice type player. So these are more like Tika Taka, not really in for the tackle. I might do him, but it's a lot of coins at this stage of the game. He would fit in with my team because I've got Patchy as well. She's very good, and it's been hard to fit her in. So I've got Pina on the left, and I've got Pajor as well. So it could be a possibility, but right now, no, I'd rather focus on the objective players, and that's what we'll discuss as well. There's two new objective cards available. The usual, just objective requirements, X amount in squad battles in various modes. But we've also got another player where it's a new event that actually replaces the live finale. And you actually noticed, John, that it's actually going to be for 2 days. Now, for the listeners, we're discussing the objective of our new Martinez, and that is the new Cornerstone live event. And then just to go over that as well, I believe it's a max 83 rated squad, and you require only 185 or higher of that. So what's your thoughts on that card in particular, and the way how to get that card, John?
I think the card itself is probably not ideal. So the stats look decent as an 85 pace, 81 passing, etc. Right? They look okay. I think there's an issue with, is it 3-star weak foot? Yeah, 3-star weak foot and 2-star skills. 6 foot, so not agile as a default right back, but it does have a plus plus play style. So I think it's possibly what you would call easy to do, easy to pick up. I'm just not sure it will be a starter. I'm maybe lucky I packed Frimpong, so that sort of nails down that wing back spot for me. But I don't think the challenges to do that are that difficult. Play 5 matches. We're having 3 Premier League players play 5 matches with 2 Serie A, play 4 matches, etc. So there's not a huge amount. Um, but like I said at the start, I'm trying to balance my time. So I don't think I will do the Cornerstones event for my time and my sanity. So therefore, I probably won't get that player. Do you know what I mean? What about you, James? You going to go for him?
Well, I'm interested because his positions, not only can I play right back, John, but centre back, right mid, right wing. But I would like to look at him more as a right back or a centre back because, fair enough, he's got 85 pace, but he's got 89 acceleration, so that's always nice. And
Yeah,
also, John, he's got quick step. which I think is very good for a defender. I actually learned that late last year.
Yeah.
Whip pass if you're going to play him on the wing. Again, he'll suit my Spanish-themed team at the moment that I've got. I think it's okay, John. It's okay for an objective card. Centre back with 85 reactions is not too shabby as well. But you could call me biased, John, and I'll tell you why. This is a guy that I signed quite a lot in Football Manager. So
There we go.
I'm familiar with him, so that's probably biased. And then we go over to, shall we say, a box-to-box destroyer, and the other objective, Nagme, the American box-to-box, 3-star, 3-star, right-footed, can play centre mid and CDM. What's your thoughts on him, John?
I like that one better actually. I
Right,
think there's
okay.
just those stats like physical, 80, 80 off the bat, which is decent.
Mhm.
Decent strength and stamina. And stamina, as we all know, at the start of the game is really quite low, and your players drain. So I quite like that. But I also like the fact he's got 85 composure, 89 agility. So that dribbling side is quite good. So mid to high 80s. So I like that. Yeah, there are some issues around shooting, but you're not using them in that role. And yeah, he doesn't go out wide, so you don't need the passing, which looks low at 80, but that's 60 of that is in crossing. So the rest of it, like short passing 89, that to me is a better free card. The challenge I have with that is I don't have anybody from the MLS, and I don't have any Americans. However, yeah, I think I would pick that up. I believe Messi is meant to be very good this year. Links also to Paul. So, for those people that are picking up some MLS players, I think he would do a good job at this stage of the game.
Yeah, and he would link with Pulisic as well. Robinson, you've got at Fulham, left
Yep.
back. So yeah, there's possibilities. That's a good card. Yeah, I agree with everything that you've said. Then for the listeners, just to make you aware, these get technical, press proven, and relentless. Decent card. And then also for our audience just coming back, if you're returning to foot, just like John, I'm sure you were aware of this, John, but just in case anyone else, you touched on composure. We now have chemistry cards that can actually improve composure, because I think that's a vital stat. So if he's got a base stat 85, you can put a chemistry card on to improve that even further. You're laughing. And then I like that he's got double plus on box to box, John. If you're playing him, CM in like a 4-4-1-1 type formation, 4-4-2, even 4-3-3, that would be decent. Yeah, definitely. I would say that's a good card. And then, like we touched on, it's just the usual requirements there in terms of X amount squad battles, X amounts of the modes that you play there. So that was pretty decent. And then, of course, we had an evolution. We had two evolutions. We had one paid and we had one that wasn't. I'll need to look at my team, John, so I'll need to get back to you on this to see if it's going to be good. But just looking at it it does look good. You've got cards like Turam, Loftus-Cheek, Pogba, Dunn, I'm sure can benefit from that. So it's an interesting evolution. And that brings me to my question, John, for the listeners and for myself, really. Have you started any evolutions?
I've started a couple. So because we had the pre-release, I think I evoed my Leeds Brazilian goalkeeper, and I can't remember what he got, but he got one stat, I think it was. And then I evoed Mukhtar, the German from the MLS. He got one stat somewhere. So I've evoed 4 or 5 players, but it literally is plus one shooting, plus one defence, and it's not all gone on the same player. So at the minute, I'm doing them because I'm not paid for any yet. I've done the free ones, and I've done them because I have a player that fits it. But again, I know it's all about protecting the power curve, but adding one defence or one shooting to a player is not making that player any better.
Yeah, definitely. It's just good that they've done it repeatable so that one can be
Yeah,
two. But yeah, I'm totally with you on that. And also, in terms of evolutions, I actually prefer having obviously, I want more than one, but I like a stat than overall. Like, for example, keep the player at 82 rated and give them 5 passing or 5 shooting and keep that. So I like that side of that, but I do agree, one pass 2 pass. It's
For that,
very,
how long is that going to take you to evo your Celtic past and present? That's going to
yeah,
take forever to get somebody to where you want them to be. Because let's take McGregor, for example, probably one of the better rated Celtic players, am I right, James? I don't know who the best is, but
yep,
that to get him to, right, I've got lots of 84s and 85s in my club of decent players. I'm using Jolinton for chemistry at 82, but to get McGregor to that with these plus ones, it's going to take him 10, 12, 13 evolutions to get to that 82, 83 rated type player. Still not getting into your main squad, and that's the worry. But again, I know it's all about protecting the curve, and I'm sure they do listen. I'm sure they do listen, and they are working on how to manage that. And it's early doors, early days, so just yeah. But for me at the minute, you see if the objective is like if I'm playing that player or like a squad battle one game, not a problem. See if it turns into something like play 6 games for plus one. I'm not forcing them into my team to get a plus one.
yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would share that sentiment. Definitely, John. And also, just again, with you being a returning player, we've got Silver Stars. Just out of pure curiosity, have you done any of the new players? Like, for example, Garinchka, Charlton. I've done Garinchka myself. Pretty decent card. Again, I'm looking really from the bigger picture from an Evo down the line. Charlton looks good off the bat. What would you have you done any at all?
I've done 2, so because I did a bit of squad battles, which was in the hope of packs, I have done Garincha. That was quite easy. I think packed Marta really early, so
Right.
85 rated. Firstly, a pace is 70, and that's a wee bit slow to be on the right midfield. I was 4-4-2 for a while. Cam, striker, it all just feels a little bit slow when when everybody's trying to play 90 plus wingers and 90 plus midfielders. So um, but in squad battles, she was a dream. So that got me the Brazilian goals very quickly. And then I also completed the goalkeeper, Yashin, because again, that was just, was it 10 games with 3 silvers? That's all it needed.
Yeah, I think it was. Was it clean sheets or something like
Yeah,
that?
clean sheets. So, yeah, it maybe took me 12 games because, when you're playing squad battles or trying to play them against some of there are squads at 88 and 89 rated with some icons, and you know you're 7-0 up and then you lose a goal in the 89th minute and you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
So but yeah, it was easy because I played my squad battles, so I've done those 2. I don't think I'll do I'm not sure if I'll do the rest. I have got a Portuguese on the bench, but that's 1 goal in 100 games.
yeah,
I do have an English striker on the bench for the same thing, but again, I think it's 1 assist or is it 1 goal in 100 games. So that's a lot of games. And to be fair, I'm not good enough to use those Portuguese and English players in my rivals. Therefore, I only play them in squad battles. And when you only play 16 squad battles a week, that's going to take you a lot of blocks to get those 100 goals or 100 games. So I'm not rushing
yeah.
to do them. I did the 2 easy ones, and we'll take it from there. What about you, James? How are you getting on the grind?
Well, like I said, I've gone Garinchka, but yeah, the other ones I'll just do it by accident. I'm not looking to go for it, but I will. I'm going for Charlton. I would like that Cam. So I done that Borussia Dortmund player. I can't pronounce the fella's name, unfortunately. So I don't want to insult him. It
Sturridge?
was no, 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 no.
No,
It was
sorry.
it was the Borussia Dortmund player,
I'm
English
sorry.
Cam.
You know what? Yeah, apologies. I was looking at the Sturridge has got a yellow, I think, icon from a
Ah,
MLS kit,
right.
and
So
my brain went the wrong way.
So you need an assist to an English player in 100 separate matches. So I've got to like 40 at the moment, and I'll just do it in rivals or squad battles because I've got that Borussia Dortmund. I think having plus plus and playmaker and if decent passing, good play styles will do me for the now. But I just can't really decide on a formation, John. 4-2-2, 4-2-3-1, 4-2-3-1 narrow. So I'm just trying to find my I know I play with my feet, but I try to find my feet with this
Yeah,
team at the
yeah.
moment.
Well, I went started 4-4-2, and that's what I played pretty much all the last year.
Right.
Um, but I found for me personally, not being very good at defending, is in those 9-1s, 9-2s, 8-2s, it literally is a cam who just threw ball right between the two centre halves, goal. And it just felt like that was all the time. So I'm trying John's Discord exclusive formation at the moment, which there is a clue in that it has one CDM, and that is making such a difference to me.
And you're liking that formation then, and that
I
setup?
am, but I'm struggling to get the players to play it. Um, it needs a specific role either side, and there's not that many players with that role.
Yeah, I get you. And for the listeners wondering what's this mysterious formation, it is in the Discord for the paid Patreon. If you want to support us, you can go to Foot Coaching, and also you can support this podcast as well, Foot In Review. So that was a nice plug to that, John. I took that opportunity nicely.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So we've pretty much covered over the content. Also, in terms of content with a Team of the Week upgrade, it's going to be important as, of course, we go over the seasons. But at the moment, it's okay. Be good for future SBCs. In terms of SBCs, have you done all your starter squad SBCs? Have you absolutely done everything? And did you find it? Did you find it easier this year than last year in terms of the foundations?
Yeah, it was a doddle. I did them all on the web app before I even got to the trial game, and yeah, it was. I found it very, very easy. They even did in week one of the release. I did the marquee matchups. I've done all that sort of stuff, but I haven't done any player ones yet. I haven't done like James. I haven't done the showdowns because I'm a bit like, well, what's the? I know the curve is slow, but I'm a bit worried about longevity. Again, having um, the Liverpool wing back ping pong, I'm not necessarily needing James at the minute, and because of the new formation, there's a lot of most people will guess it. I'm not using wide players anymore, so I'm not needing Pepe and stuff like that. So at the minute, I'm just being really selective because again, I don't have a lot of coins, and I'm really scared to give up all my fodder very early. So
Yeah. And then when you go and buy a player, John, you look at the transfer market a couple of years later and that player's dropped. You're like, oh, God.
uh, to be
So
fair,
it's
there's a lot of good cards out there at not a big price. You know, there's a lot of oh,
one of mine, well, not mine, I'm sure the community know all this one. Ramirez, the Chelsea striker. I've got James. My first name's James John, so I had to get as many Jameses in with my team as I
of
can.
course,
And then so I got Ramirez to partner up in terms of chemistry. She's really good. Really
yeah.
impressed with
I,
her.
I picked
83
up the
rated.
I picked up the Barcelona winger, come striker, 5-star a week foot. I've forgotten her name. She plays for the Barcelona women's team.
What
Fina.
position?
Well, I think
Oh,
if she
oh,
can
I
play,
left wing or
yeah,
left mid. Pina. Yep,
yeah.
she's got
But
like
she also
70.
plays as a striker. She can also play
Aye,
as a striker,
aye, false
and
9 plus. She's
yeah,
got.
yeah, 86 rated, and I think I got her for about 6,900 coins,
Right,
which I
I
think's a
packed her.
bargain.
Aye,
Yeah,
she is
so
good.
she's not a
Mhm.
lot of good coins, but she's actually a really good player.
Yeah,
So there are
certainly.
still some really good players at really good prices. So
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And then like, if you partner up with an evolution, then you're laughing like a Turam, for example, in today's evolution, that looks an absolute beast.
yeah,
So yeah, definitely, there's certainly options, definitely. So as a returning player coming back, do you say will you will you still be hesitant in the future, or are you back now for good if the changes still come along, and of course the communication still is so transparent at this moment, John?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been playing this game avidly for 7, 8 years now. It was just at the end of last year I said, nope, that's me. I'm done. Didn't enjoy last game at all. Um, had a lack of faith in EA, but that seems to have the communication for me is brilliant. But there is a bit that this Discord is brilliant. I've been to the Crete trip, done the Edinburgh meetups. I've made friends for life here. And even though I wasn't going to play, I was still part of the Discord. And then
Yeah.
that itch was like, no, I'm just going to go back in, and I'm not regretting it, even though I'm getting spanked.
Well, that's good. It's good to have you back, John. It gives me an opportunity to do things like this with you, mate.
Yeah,
So that's always good as a first. So that's good. So I'm glad that you are enjoying it, and as a returning FUT player, you are enjoying it. I hope the audience, new or previous, can see the improvements, and hopefully hoping that we've got a football game on our hands again.
I
Because
definitely think we do. I definitely think we do. There are, as with every game, there are small challenges, but they were fast to tweak, low driven. They've been fast to tweak, positionings of wing backs and things like that. They, they seem to be much more on top of it, and that gives me a bit of confidence that wasn't there in the past.
yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And let's hope it may continue, John.
Yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So what's your plans for this weekend with the game then, James? Are you playing this weekend, or have you got real life football? What's the plans?
I was supposed to do my RTG. I've got two accounts, my main account and then my RTG account. I was supposed to stream, but I had a lot of issues trying to get on YouTube today and do. Long story short, we couldn't get there, so I haven't started my RTG. But on the main account, I'm just focused to trying to nail down a formation. Then when I nail down a formation, I'll buy players. I've got about 100k at the moment, John, that I'm keeping for a
You're
rainy day.
rich. You're
I'm keeping
rich.
for a rainy day, mate. Just I don't want to, because I'm very at the moment. I'm chopping and changing my formations, so I'm using my untradables at the moment, and I'm not really buying. If I buy a player, I'm not buying it. Like 20 grand, I'll go. Do you know what I
Aye,
mean?
but you're not
So
spending 60 or 80. You're not spending that much money at the minute.
yeah.
You're keeping it all.
I did go for Lauren James. I bought her for like 32k. Then I seen her price drop, so I dropped her, John, for
Oh, you
28k.
cashed out.
I'm very, even though it's virtual currency, I'm very, that kind of stuff annoys me if I lose
I know,
4k or
but
whatever.
but
So
I'd love to have John's mentality. Foot coaching John's mentality is amazing, right? He buys a Van Dijk, and he's like, I don't care if he halves in price or not. I will use Van Dijk for, I'd make this up, like 6 months, right? He doesn't really care. He bought Haaland last year, paid a lot at the start. His price dropped, but John's like, he bangs in the goals for me, so I don't look at the price anymore. Most people buy a card, look at the price, and go, "Oh my god, look at the losses! Look at the losses!" So yeah, to have John's mentality of "don't look at the losses" would be fantastic. But I'm a bit like you. Oh, I'm hemorrhaging coins. Cash out.
yeah, don't we all? We could be like more like John in terms of the market, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And I think that's a good place to finish. Just again, I really hope John a speedy recovery. He's put in the Discord what's actually been up with John. It's not my place to say, so if you want to have a look in the Discord, by all means, do that. He's explained that, and also let me know how you think I done tonight. Debut host. So let me know, and again, just let John know how everyone's missed him, and he's back again. So share your goodwill with John. And again, John, just finally, thanks. I couldn't do this alone, mate. So thank you very much. You also had internet issues as well. The man's still here. He's connected by a hotspot, I believe. So if that's not commitment, I do not know what is.
Yeah, it was good to get on, and you've done a cracking job tonight, James.
Thank you very much. Well, take care, listeners. Thanks very much for listening. I've been your host, James, aka Talando77, and I've been joined by John. Take care, and I'll see you again. All right,
Drop it.
boom. Drop it.
You